What's going on, guys? Hotshot with me here. Yes, we're officially here with episode 1, season 1 of Hall Talk. I told you guys when I was doing one of the OTR videos that we was gonna come with a little something different for 2023. And yes, we're here. Hotshot with me here. The OG's here. And we're here to talk about any and everything trucking. And this is opinion-based, completely subjective. We want you guys to comment. Please like and subscribe. And let's get to the business.
We selling tires, $20 a piece, 16 ply. If you want
Only 16.
If you want a set of them, call him. They $20 a piece. They used up to they no good. Not too good.
Okay, so the first thing we're gonna talk about is something that was brought up on one of the Hotshot pages, one of the forums that we all follow on Facebook.
Wow.
Hey,
Smart. What do you want? You want to come downstairs?
Say no, you can't. You need to stay upstairs.
Baby, you need to stay in your room. Stay in your room and watch TV. Go now. Close the door.
It would have hot shot with a family when you trying to do a podcast. You heard me?
All right, so this first video is, or not video, but picture, is something that we came across in one of the Facebook forums, the Hotshot forum. This particular individual needed help. It was like their first week hotshot and something like that. Maybe like the second load that they were on. I think the first load was like some tangents or something, but this is the second load that they were on. We are here to decipher what actually went on. This is kind of the craziest, one of the craziest things I've ever seen, you know, with somebody hotshotting to this day. So we just kind of want to bring this up and see what you guys think. So basically deciphering what's actually going on in these photos. So here we have, it looks like the gooseneck ball inside the bed fell off. I guess already while she was, I guess she was loaded. I don't know if she pulled off or whatever, or even made it past the shipper. But either way, her whole setup, whole coupling system failed. Gooseneck went through the bed of the truck, and we're trying to decipher what actually is going on in these pictures and what maybe she could have done differently and what possibly, you know, she made her mistake. You know, me personally, the only thing I can see is that I personally believe her ball was not, and it probably had the right rating on it, but the thing is with that Humvee, whatever Hummer, sitting so close to the front of the trailer, mind you, there's two of them. There's one on the very front and there's one on the end. Those things got away, like, what you think, like 15,000 pounds a piece. I feel like.
I ain't sure, but I know they're heavy.
They're real heavy. And to have one that close to the front, normally if I would have hauled one, I would haul one and put it close to the rear end of the trailer, and that's about it, no matter what your truck
She was trying to get to that money. She was trying to get two.
But she's also non-CDL.
Oh, that is the other thing.
Well, we can go ahead and end the discussion now. We already know what happened.
Yeah.
User error.
It is user error.
She put too much weight on that trailer. A non-CDL?
She non-CDL.
And got two of those military vehicles on it. You know, one in the front, one in the back. And I think that is too much weight on the front. Pull it off, yank the ball, shoot it off. And she probably heard the clank because the actual gooseneck actually fell off into the front of the bed in that other picture. So I'm thinking she probably pulled forward after hearing the noise of it breaking and tried to correct herself. And at that point, the actual gooseneck fell inside the bed and cracked it all up. And I don't know how she got out of it. Probably, you know, laying down or releasing the landing gear and cracking it up. But that junk is crazy.
I think it's faulty gooseneck. That's it.
Faulty gooseneck?
I do.
Or the ball?
The whole setup right there, faulty.
Because it's not welded to the frame. No way.
I don't know anything about those drop-in balls, but
drop-ins.
I don't know.
Ours aren't drop-ins. They're all one setup. But anyway, that's what my two says. That's wild.
Y'all comment.
I
told
Please comment. Let us know what you think, because I have no idea exactly what she really could have, what she could do differently, you know, to fix that. All right, so this particular topic, we're talking about fuel aisles and how you feel about 30-minute breaks in the fuel aisle.
I love it. I mean, I love it. I love getting to the fuel aisle.
Let
my turbo cool down. Make sure I clean the truck out if I got a mess.
You
Throw the trash away.
Yeah, you clean your truck at the
Oh yeah, I clean and make sure. Just let them turbo cool down, bro. You know, you can't just turn the truck off when you get up.
Yeah.
You know, then I get back there and take one cap off.
Mm-hmm.
Go kick a tire too.
Yeah.
Take the other cap off. Slip my card in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I might walk inside and pay for it. Tell you to open the pump wide open, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that takes, that 5-10 minutes done went by then.
Mm-hmm.
So I come back out there and start fueling up. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I lightly press it. You know what I mean? So I'm slow.
Yeah.
So by the time I'm done, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, I'm just like opposite. I be trying to get it down. I be mad at you, people like you. I be pissed. Straight up, I get in, stop at the fuel aisle, pump my fuel. As soon as I'm on that secondary tank, that's when I walk around the trailer, check all the lights, check all the tires. By the time I get back around, it's done. Click, and then I crank up the truck. And then as I'm cranking up the truck and running it warm back up for me to pull forward, I go ahead and crank what's it called? Pump more fuel into the tank because get all the bubbles out and everything, and actually top it off. And then once that's done, I hang it up, pull forward, sit there, and if I gotta take a 30-minute break, I'm going to park. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to sit in the fuel aisle and just be sitting up. And that only take me 10 minutes.
Now you done messed up your 30-minute break. You done moved your truck. You done moved your truck more than 2 miles per hour. Done kick you back in the drive.
But that's if I need a 30-minute break. 9 times out of 10, I don't need one. If I'm getting loaded, I don't need a 30-minute break at that point, because at that point I got 8 hours left of my driving day normally. Because I drive about an hour in, then say if I got deadhead about 2 hours, that's 8, or that's 11, 10, 9, maybe 8, and then boom, you got 8 hours.
So how do you know when somebody's taking a 30-minute break in the fuel? How do you know?
Sometimes they not. That's my problem. Like
sometimes
I feel like you may not be taking a 30-minute break. Like the other day I pulled up. I pulled up right behind him, and I guess maybe he got there as soon, maybe 2 seconds before I pulled up. He stopped, and I'm like, okay, I look over, and I don't see no fuel pumps in the thing, and I'm like, okay, I'll sit for a little bit, maybe he had the thing as a line in there, whatever. I look inside, I see inside the glass, there's no line by the diesel aisle, but there's still no pumps, and I don't see him nowhere to be found. And I'm like, okay, I get it, maybe if you had to use the bathroom. If you get there, you're the first one to the pump, you gotta go. I get it. You gotta go. But this is what this dude did. He finally comes out. I guess he paid for his fuel. Pumps fuel. Mind you, I haven't been sitting there for a good 7 minutes, already. Finally comes out, puts the fuel in on both tanks. Looking back, like he know he been sitting there. Like he looking back at me like, dang, I know I'm sitting here and act like he trying to rush, trying to move fast. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's trying to put a little pep in his step. He fuels up, gets done, gets inside his truck, closed up. Like fuel pump still inside his tanks. And I'm like, what is he doing inside his truck? And so then finally he's done. I know it's done. And then he comes out, undoes his thing, and then he closes the door, goes back inside. I'm like, okay, he getting his receipt. So I'm like, you could at least pull forward to get your receipt. You waited, knowing that, and by this time all the fuel aisles had a couple rows, of trucks waiting. So at this point, okay, everybody getting backed up. My thing is at least give somebody common courtesy enough just to pull forward so they can get their fuel while you go ahead and get your receipt. It'd be a difference if there's nobody around you and nobody behind you. That's a different story. Like, do what you gotta do. Like, you can take your time. I don't even care. But if it's backed up and you know it's backed up from the time you even pull in, don't be taking your sweet time. And this dude, then after he comes back, cranks up, sits in the truck for another about 2-3 minutes, and then
he was at 27 minutes, only 30.
I get it. And then finally, after all that, he pulls up forward. Now, he pulls up forward and finishes his 30-minute break. That's why I think he had 30 minutes, because I'm looking at my clock. I'm at about 20-something minutes now on my clock. I pull up, fuel, whatever. I'm done. Get back in the truck, waiting on him.
Back out.
Now, mind you this. I'm waiting. So, waiting for some more. Finally, his lights cut on. He finally pulls out. I was about to get outside my truck and be like, hey man, like, what's going on? Are you okay? I asked somebody if they're okay. I'm not trying to start no mess. I was like, you all right? Maybe you got something going on. So, get ready to do that, but he turns his lights on, pulls out. As he pulls out, guess what he does?
Pulls over to the side of the park.
He went to park.
That's right.
I almost lost it. I straight up almost lost it.
But
I
see,
hate that.
you gotta look at it
I
from
can't
another
stand
perspective because
What perspective?
as owner operators,
Mm-hmm.
we can do different things than company drivers.
That's true.
You know, company driver may get in his truck and I used to work for a company. You move that truck. If you move that truck,
Yeah, like even past like 4 miles an hour. Two?
Yes, it's 2 that junk will kick you in the drive. So I understand sometimes you behind a company driver, he move his truck, he done messed up his brake.
Right, yeah.
So that could have been the issue, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You just need to calm down. You know what I'm saying?
You put me on 10 because shoot, I did for all you who may think I just, never drove company. I did drive for a company for a little hair, and our trucks moved at it kicks you in the drive at 4 miles per hour. So even if you want to be in creep mode, you could be in creep mode to the nearest parking spot. It wasn't like there was no parking. There's plenty of parking, but you can be in creep mode and do your thing. But that one was wild.
And then that creep mode.
I ain't no 2 miles per hour. That's crazy.
You know how the creep mode go in the parking lot too, right?
What you mean?
Dude, what you doing?
Oh yeah.
Nigga, go on the move, man.
Go.
Can't win.
But I don't mind people in creep mode. If I see a truck moving real slow, I know he in creep mode. I just know. I'm like, at least I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get where you gotta go without starting your clock, or you done already went off duty because you're just trying to make it to the truck stop.
Exactly.
One of the two. I get it. But I don't know.
But I love Fuel Isle. It's a nice spot to do a 30-minute, in the middle of your shift. It's a perfect spot.
Dallas, Texas, y'all gotta go. Like Dallas, Texas, gotta go. That's about the slowest. Every fuel I've been to is just mad slow. Every single one. I can't do it. I'm that guy on 10 while people are moving on. I'm never gonna be mean, but I have knocked on truck drivers though. Like, yo, what's up? You got to move.
How do you hotshot without your spouse working?
It's a controversial topic.
I think you hotshot the same way you hotshot with spouse working.
Yeah,
you go to work.
Yeah.
And you work, not dependent on your spouse.
You can't. Because that's what I do. I mean, my wife, for those of you who don't know, she has a job. And I still try to pretend like that don't even exist. But it is a lot less pressure on me. I will say that.
Yeah,
1,000%. Because I know in the back of my head, if something go a little left, and I'm short, there's a potential we might be all right, But we've, gotten to the point now where we personally, resurfaced our mindset on how we need to even run that. Because everybody, I feel like, really needs to try to do their best to run on one income, no matter what they have going on.
So my question is, if you are a man or woman who's trying to get into Hotshot, is it smart to do it if they are the sole breadwinner? Like leave their current job or try to pursue it?
Yeah, you got stacks on stacks.
Oh yeah, you gotta have money in the bank.
If you're trying to get in Hotshot in 2023 and you're the only person gonna be bringing bacon to the house, don't do it unless you got a lot of cash.
Oh, yeah. And what's a lot of cash?
I think that everybody keep talking about like 20,000, 30,000, on the side. You gotta have more than that. Because I think you need to have money for a worst case scenario, which is either an engine rebuild or you get a new motor. That's absolute worst case scenario. That's some insurance is not gonna cover most of the time.
And credentials, for y'all who are listening, they both have had motors to be rebuilt, so they got credentials to back up what they talking about.
Plus a new one. He done had two.
Yeah. So ultimately, it's not. I just think that you gotta have money for worst case scenario breakdown, and on top of that, the savings, because you gotta think that's just money for the breakdown, not including how long it's gonna take. And on top of that, you gotta pay for all your bills and expenses, food. You just gotta live.
So that 3 to 6 month worth of living expenses need to be already set in place. That ain't including cash you're talking about to run a business. Mm-hmm. You gotta have it. Because if you don't, what goes up must come down.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying everything like something negative is gonna happen to everybody. That's not the case. I mean, some people may really just truly it work out where they don't really have no problems, for a long time, and they can hopefully they stacking and not seeing the money come in.
Stacking and not
just,
macking.
Yeah, exactly. and spending it all because they realize more is coming in. So you taking on more debt or taking on more liabilities and not actually, investing it back into the business or, creating something where you got assets to help, you have more money coming in on, you know, on another end. But shoot, aside from that, shoot, that's my 2 cents on it. Like it's tough. It's real tough.
It's tough, but you know, you gotta depend on y'all, which is God.
1,000%.
To do this regardless of you got a spouse working or not working. You gotta have faith in him that he's gonna provide one way or the other. Because at the end of the day, he's the one that's gonna give us strength in order to make wealth, to get wealth.
1,000%.
So
sure, you have a spouse that's working and you working, you doing everything you possibly can. But shoot, I know he'll take it all from you.
You go
ASAP.
You go into a tailspin, can't control it.
Exactly. It'll go south so quick. It's unreal. Like we've been through so much in 2022, you know, that ain't no way we done made it out. Shoot, without the Father.
Only way.
Because
the only way.
It's really wild. But aside from that, I mean, you just gotta do your due diligence to steward the money that you are getting in this business, you know, and actually steward it properly. Because you can't go out here. I mean, you may be that person that everything just go right. You got your nice truck. Only thing you need to change is the oil filters or any other fluids, your tires, for like a year and a half, and you go out, buy some things, and nothing ever really happened to you.
If y'all out there, please comment and let me know what kind of truck you got, what kind of trailer you got, where you got your truck at, because I want one of those trucks that don't never tear up and never, just nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's out there. Everybody have issues with their vehicles, no matter what kind they are.
Most definitely. And everybody's different. Like you can't watch other people's hotshot channels and all these OTR videos of some people saying they're making all this money, and you know, you're looking at the gross amount. Yeah, you gotta think about food, you gotta think about breakdowns, but also that is not, most likely will not be you. You're not gonna have the same exact success or failures as somebody else. This is not gonna happen. Your journey is gonna be completely different. Everybody's journey is different, no matter what. All we can tell you is you will break down at some point. That's the only guarantee. Something's gonna happen.
And hopefully it's not in Washington.
Shoot, across the world for your family. We laugh from experience.
Okay, last topic. Should you hotshot in 2023?
If your spouse working, you should hotshot in 2023. If your spouse is not working, stay on your 9 to 5.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. There's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5.
Nothing.
I mean, at all, like by any means. I think that for me, I had a very, you know, for those of you who don't know, I was in architecture beforehand, you know, entry level. I think I was like level 2 basically. For those of you who are architecture, you know what that means. But you know, the only reason I specifically left was for multiple reasons. It was for one, you know, I had the freedom to come and go as I please, and for two, I personally am a person that believes in the harder I work, the more money I should make. And this is one of the careers that before I get into it and I'm able to invest my money into something that actually brings in passive income, you know, I want to be able to at least have the opportunity. The harder I work, the more I put into something, the more money I'll get back in return. And that was my thought process. But being said, making that switch, I've learned that there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. I mean, it's very safe, most likely consistent, you know, thing, you know, and you can always jump to another job. Even if you get laid off, you can jump to another job, cool, you know, but you know, it's for some people and some people it's not. Just like being their own operator, that's not for everybody. You know, some people don't have that fortitude to go out and, you know, grind and really sacrifice being, when you home, you constantly working on still the business. You know, it's a 24-hour, it's a 24/7 thing for a lot of people owning your own business. A lot of people don't understand that you can't just go out, make some money, come back, chill, hang out with your family. No, you gotta almost split that time home in half. To just be like, oh, okay, now I gotta work on the truck here. I mean, and it's a sacrifice. I mean, we struggle with, I'll just speak for myself, but sometimes I struggled in the past with just, you know, understanding that balance, you know, a family versus, you know, the business. And that's something that is a struggle that you will face, you know, especially if you have somebody, you know, a household, you know. So that's something to be mindful of.
And I've been doing this since 2019. I still struggle trying to balance the house and the business. Because when I'm at home, I'm thinking about the road.
Yeah.
When I'm on the road, I'm thinking about home. And if you're trying to get into this business and you're not planning on working hard,
yeah,
don't do it because you're gonna fail.
Sure, most definitely. You
You're
gotta
gonna
love
fail.
it. And you gotta love it. Like, you gotta love it.
Yeah.
Sure. The good thing is, I feel like ultimately we vehicle people, automobile, car, truck people in general, you know, and for if you have that mindset where it's just something like it's a passion, like you truly love like being on the road, booking loads, you know, I even enjoyed just talking to my wife on Bluetooth headset. Something about that I just like. I don't know why. It's just something that I like, you know. But you really gotta love. You gotta love being back, you know, changing your oil, your perspective on everything is something positive. It's not negative. Because you come home and be like, damn, do this. Yo, you ain't gonna like it. You ain't gonna last.
So
I don't understand how people out there saying that they can't make any money in Hotshot, going out of business. They doing it wrong.
So how do you prevent yourself from going out of business?
How do you prevent yourself from going out of business? You gotta work hard.
Yeah.
Every day.
What does that look like?
It look like what we go through here.
Yeah.
I work all week. When I get home, I'm doing maintenance on the truck. I'm getting myself prepared to leave again.
Yep.
Until you get that money stacked back up from all the breakdowns, or get that money stacked up to have, so when you do break down, you're not hurt. You know what I mean? You got to grind. Mm-hmm. You have to grind.
And it's either going to go either way.
But what if you are doing all of that and the rates are really low? How do you continue to make money?
Well, first of all, you got to know your numbers. You got to know how much you can truly operate your business. That's like a big thing. Something I had to learn. You know, I need to know how much it's going to cost me to run specifically, and that will determine, you know, your rate per mile. And it's different for everybody. Yeah. Like how much, if you got a truck with a truck payment, you know, you got to calculate that into, okay, I got a payment every month. Let me calculate into my per mile how much it's going to cost me to run, you know. And it's just little things like that with the fuel, with the filters, the oil, all that stuff that you got to do. And if you know how much you want to run, you know, to make the amount of money you want to make, you know, you calculate that to your rate per mile, and then you'll know how much you need to profit, because you just can't just break even and make money.
And cheap freight. You know, I don't believe in cheap freight. I just don't believe in cheap. I ain't cutting jack, because cheap freight my butt. Cheap freight to you ain't cheap freight to me, and cheap freight to me ain't cheap freight to you.
Yeah, it's subjective.
So we're not going to say cheap freight. Mm-hmm. I know what I need to make. If I'm making a profit at the end of that run, I'm good. If I get a run for $1,000 and going 700 miles, and I made $400 at the end of it based on the terrain, how much fuel I burn, I'm good. But somebody else be like, no man, I need to make 800 on that 1,000. How you gonna make 800? How you gonna make 800 on $1,000? Tell me. You're not.
Yeah, I mean, unless the rate high, but the rate per mile high.
It ain't gonna be high.
Not now. Unless you're going into some severe conditions, which is 9 times, you know, that may be the case.
And then in severe conditions, you lose money there too.
Yeah. Because
if it get too bad, you gotta sit on the load. And then most of the time, the brokers, you already signed their rate contract. They ain't paying you for sitting at the truck stop because it's snowing.
Yeah. And they just give you a little leeway. Be like, oh, okay, I understand. Just get the load there.
Safely.
Yeah. Safely. No damage. On time, no damage.
Don't damage the load.
Yeah. That's all they're concerned about.
So would you say hotshotting is for a family man?
Who?
I think it's
a family man.
Well, most people have families.
Everybody got a family.
Yeah, I mean, you talking about somebody with wife and kids, or you know, whatever the situation looks like. I mean, I think it is, but you have to plan for that. Like trucking in general is hard on a spouse, you know, and I think that trucking in general is potentially can be hard on your kids, you know, depending on what age. You know, I'm fortunate enough in my situation, my kids won't remember yesterday, you know, so we got a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old. So, you know, they're not really in a position to exactly remember this time, you know, of my life. So I can grind really as much as possible. The person that really affects the most is really my wife, my spouse, and me, because you know, I physically know I'm an adult. I'm missing out on these little moments that I may never get back, you know, but that's why you have to turn the switch off. You know, you got to make sure you know, when you get home, like I'm getting to the point now, I know, okay, I got to allocate one day to doing, you know, this, and this, or I know if my truck going into the shop this day, I just got to plan, you just got to plan. I mean, you got to be intentional about the time that you will spend for this, and this. you know, and that way you can, you know, kind of check your boxes.
A plan sounds good. It don't ever happen like that, do?
Nah, it don't. I thought I was gonna be transmission fluid change, oil change all by Saturday, and my truck's still in the shop right now. So
what was your question again?
So is hotshotting for a family man?
You answer that. You grew up in this.
facts.
You grew up in this.
I did.
How do you feel about it?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Why?
I don't think it is.
Why?
Y'all, please welcome to the stage my lovely wife.
Hotshotting is not for a family man. I will say because of the constant, how they say, you home, you think about the road. You on the road, you think about home. Well, when they're home, they really don't think about being home. And it just depends on their growth and if they can be a family man when they come home.
I'll say this. The only reason I disagree with you, because I think ultimately when you start any business, I don't think it's just hotshotting. I don't think there's a single business owner that's starting something of their own that does not make a sacrifice. If they want to be successful, there's not a single business
That's the key word. Sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's a sacrifice. It's just like the military. Do you think anybody should go in the military? Because military is sacrifice that.
I'll say with the military, you are away for 6-7 months and you know you're gonna be gone. But like him, they'll be home, supposed to be on the run for 2 weeks, but may come home that weekend. So they really don't plan on being there. So they want you to make them invisible. Like they like invisible and they're not here because they're like, I really was supposed to be here, so I'm invisible. I gotta get stuff done. So if you're in the military, you're gone and you are actually not there. But when you're hotshotting, you may pass through.
But guys, y'all gotta understand.
We want y'all here when y'all are here.
This is coming from a lot of breakdowns. This conversation we have right now coming from a lot of breakdowns.
They've had a total of 200 breakdowns.
In 2022, we had probably 3-4 engines rebuilt.
Yep.
Transmission replaced.
Two
transmissions replaced. Rear rebuilt. So we spent a lot of cash.
Yeah.
In 2022, so that's why we're having a conversation now. So back before then, I would work 2 weeks and come home. What, week 2?
Yeah.
Chill, didn't even worry about it.
Yeah, racing back.
But you gotta, so basically what we're saying is you gotta prepare each other mentally, spiritually, emotionally for the what if. And this is the what if.
The what if is coming.
And you see we are both all strong. It just takes a strong individuals to do this. You can't be weak and get into hotshot by no means.
No.
Not by any means.
But trucking is a sacrifice. All truckers on the road, they're making sacrifices to do that job.
And I think it's a matter of perspective too, because I feel like I'm the type of person that believes in whatever goes down comes up, whatever goes up comes down.
Yeah.
You know, at any point, you know, it's just life. You know, 2022 was a very low pit season, you know.
But I think we needed it.
Yeah, I think we needed it because I personally, you know, learned a lot of lessons from, you know, even for example, what we're talking about, you know, how to deal with the family life and being at home and stuff, and how to incorporate that. Because, you know, the first motor went out. Me being at home, I was checked out completely, like distraught. I couldn't think straight. You know, I was just I just kind of enclosed myself, you know, in myself and tried to escape that reality, you know, what was truly going on, because it was such like a major, you know, financial loss. And then the second, you know, got the truck back, ran for like a couple months, then boom, same thing happened again. And I told myself, I was like, I'm not doing what I did last time. You know, it taught me to truly enjoy the time that I did have, because, you know, maybe God had put, you know, me home for a reason. You know, I was able to truly spend time with my family and be present. You know, I realized that that's just as important too. You know, if not more important. You know, I really gotta, you know, put that into perspective. So second time was around, shoot, you ask my wife, I'm way different, totally different. Hanging out with my son every morning. I mean, I treated it like every day was my last day on earth, and it definitely made a difference at home. And so every breakdown taught me something. But you know, overall, just 2022 was rough. It was rough.
Yeah.
But we made it through, you know, and it's
we added another truck to the fleet.
Yeah,
we got a backup truck now, so
yeah.
we have a conversation about a backup trailer now, so
yeah.
we trying to do some different things to
100%
to keep this business going.
Mm-hmm. Only through y'all though. Only.
And the grind has not stopped. You know, we haven't left the foot off. You know, taking the foot off the gas by any means. You know, we still out there grinding, working. I'm trying to leave. You know,
I'm trying to leave,
but
too.
I'm still here.
I'm fixing to leave in a minute.
After the video, he walking out the door.
Maybe.
Yeah. But shit, we'll see what 2023 brings. But I feel like it's gonna bring, you know, a lot of beautiful things. But you know, please let us know what your situation is like and how you feel about it. You know,
some of y'all want us to try to address, talk about, help y'all along the way.
Oh yeah. We just want to give you all, again, this is our perspective, this is our personal opinions on these things, you know, and we just want you all to know that everybody's situation is different, and it's just how you handle it and how you prepare yourself. Like, preparation is key. You can only do so much, but do everything you can to be successful in this business. If you want to hotshot in 23, it's possible, but that preparation is like, you gotta focus and have a plan, some sort of a plan. Can't just be out here thinking you're gonna make a lot of money. You know, there is money out here.
You gotta have a backup.
Yep.
See that? Backup.
Backup.
Gas can. Backup.
Backup.
Everything backup. You know what I'm saying? Everything. You gotta have extra everything.
Yeah.
Y'all guys out here getting into the business, running those 10-ply tires, stop it. Because it's gonna cost you money at the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
I know it's expensive to go buy 14 and 16-ply tires, but guess what? It's cheaper. When you send beside the interstate, broke down, then you on the phone, I'm not gonna be able to pick that load, so then you cancel a $1,200 load.
Yep.
When you could have spent $1,000 up front or $1,200 up front, got you some good tires. So do your due diligence, like Mike said.
Oh, that's all we can do. Just have your backups. Anyway, that's it for the first episode of Hall Talk.
Hall Talk, baby.
But yes, Hall Talk. I mean, y'all catch us for episode 2. We're gonna come again with some more sauce for you. Anyway, yeah.
Peace.